I will also record it in case there are some people who aren't up
Oh,
at this
yeah.
early hour.
At some point, there'll be an anthology.
Yes, yeah,
Just grow
for sure.
through outdated references and whatnot.
No, that's true. Let's post this.
Maybe at one point we can play them all for someone, and then without knowing, they have to rank, like say which one is first and which one is last.
Let's see here. Announcements. Alright, I think this is a perfect announcement for what this is. And yeah. Hi, everybody. It is once more that time of year when love is in the air, and me and Malachi have to set out on a quest to find this true love. And
We've done princesses, we've done dinosaurs,
yeah,
but what about the most beautiful creature in the universe?
That's right. It is time to love thyself, Malachi, as we are going to date Horatio.
Anyone's not knowledgeable of the endless space universe. If you want to know what this guy is, that is where it's from. So you can look it up. Get in.
Yeah, it is. The short of it is that Horatio is a faction in the 4X space game, Endless Space. He is a crazed billionaire who creates an entire empire with his own clones. Because he is the perfect, most beautiful, smartest creature there is. And so what better way to make the universe a better place than it just being himself. Time to date Horatio. I'm going to press start. Yes, it is impossible to dissociate my story from that of Horatio, the first of our name. The first being to travel widely between the stars were known as the Endless. We know of no earlier form of intelligent life that moved between galaxies. Their history is glorious, but above all tragic. Though they unlocked the secrets of time-space, the stars, and life itself, they were unable to master their own internal conflict. What remains now of the Endless are strange, disjointed traces in the forms of seeds, of observations, of experiments, of cities and worlds, and perhaps, though not all of this is clear or verifiable, in the forms of other people. Many starfaring civilizations have since risen to the fore, some have fallen as well. Events in recent history have led to an explosion in the number of players on the galactic scene. One of these, undoubtedly a major one, is Horatio. Once upon a time, Horatio was just a man, a simple trillionaire. One night, a vision came to him in the shape of a dream. It was the vision of an empire and eternal life. He left everything behind, venturing through the stars. Over the ages, he discovered many of the mysteries left by the Endless, and his knowledge and power grew. He created his first sons, and willed his empire into existence, a beacon of all that is brilliant and beautiful. Now, the empire of Horatio flourishes, and Horatio himself is immortal, with a power to rival that of the Endless themselves. Some say they were living gods. They're dead now, though, while we thrive through our brother, our god, Horatio. I'm ready to go towards the light.
Sure, yeah.
I think I hear someone. Do you wanna...
Yeah, that's ignition ratio. All the clones in this batch are to be decanted today. I know this is earlier than the original schedule planned for, but this schedule didn't plan for 2 patrol squads in the heartland of the Empire to go missing within a month. Just follow my lead and the procedure will be fine. If you do well today, you might be promoted to junior lab technician earlier than expected.
That's great. That would be amazing, sir.
Don't interrupt. Most of the process is automated, but contrarily to some of the clone hatching sequences you've seen in class, the final step are still done by hand.
Oh, bespoke Horatio clones.
There are procedures for which a computer cannot be trusted, and you have to rely on the steady Horatio judgment. Back to our specimens. You will handle clone births A through L, and I'll do the other row. Take one and get to work.
Can you hear me? One moment I'm asleep, the next I'm alive. My eyes struggle to adjust to the brightness of the room. It slowly comes into focus. There's a man in a white and blue uniform bent over me with a bald, elongated head. A look of concern on his face. Hello? You're awake. Great. I have a couple of questions for you. He shoves a small hollow pad he's holding in my face. It's very bright and I recoil slightly, groaning something. He starts flipping through the pages when other voices call out.
Over here, please. I need your help.
The man looks for a place to put the hollow pad and realizes his outfit doesn't have pockets big enough to accommodate it.
Perkins Evo 7. I'm talking to you. Get moving.
Yes, sir, coming. He looks down at me and ends up putting the tablet down next to me. I'll be back. Goes away out of sight. I struggle to prop myself up on one elbow so I can keep watching him. He stops at a platform some distance away, on which lies a naked man. Another uniformed man is standing nearby, looking at the side panel next to the platform. All three of them look exactly alike. Brothers? How can I help, sir? The uniformed man points at the naked form in front of him.
This clone is faulty. The lights are on, but it seems nobody's home.
I try to make sense of all of this. These people are clones of one another? What do you mean, sir?
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? He can't hear us, but he can hear us, but he can't respond. Something must have gone wrong during the process. On the outside, he's fine, but his motor educational imprinting is flawed.
Oh no.
The result is a useless husk. What good is it being beautiful if you can't make everyone proud?
Well,
the cloning that's near perfect, but every once in a while, some other part of the pipeline produces a disgusting abnormality.
oh no.
Let's take care of him and chalk him up as a total loss.
What do you need me to do?
Simple. Take his legs.
The man called Turgus F07 grabs the unmoving clone by the ankles and looks at the other clone. The latter has passed his hands under the clone's arms and pulls him over the platform with a grunt.
Put the body in the recycling chute. This way we get the nutrients back. Think of it as his way of contributing.
Both of them tug and pull haphazardly, and before long, they're panting.
Can't afford to show weakness at this time. However, everything and everyone is perfect and beautiful in the Horatio Empire. It's a kindness we're doing him, really, when you think about it.
I watched as they come nearer and realize that there are about a dozen other men on the platforms, all of them in various states of lying down or sitting up, looking at the grotesque scene with mild interest. Every single one of them is a carbon copy of the trio in front of us. I catch my reflection on the surface. Suddenly I realize I too am one of them. A clone of them. A Horatio.
Good thing we caught this now so we can fix it before the ceremony. Our record needs to be perfect. Otherwise, we'll end up at the backwater station, decanting only he knows what. This is more a blessing, really. For you and me, I mean. For him, not so much.
Rio passes in front of me, and for a moment my eyes lock into those of the faulty clone. Far from being dead inside, I see fear radiating from him. He knows he is going to be killed off because he's imperfect. I sit up and try to figure out what these tests are about. I don't want to follow this guy into the recycling chute. Every time I think about what a memory test entails, I come up with a blank. I think that's the issue right there. My body's functional. I can remember what people are. I can understand what people are saying and think, but there's nothing of the memory implants they mentioned. I'm a blank slate.
Come up while I open the chute.
I gotta do something about this. I turn around and look to the clone next to me, who's gazing about with an air of studied detachment. Our eyes lock, and his expression shifts to a scowl. I haven't done anything to deserve it, although I've been fidgeting on my platform.
What are you looking at, substrate?
I'm rummaging for a good comeback. All of these guys seem to hold perfection in a very, very high regard. I know what'll shut him right up.
I'd go for the bottom one.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, let's do that. I'm just wondering what clone you are. Surely you can't be one of us. Takes a moment, but he eventually gets it. He reddens and mutters under his breath. Definitely doesn't sound friendly. I realize we seem to be easily provoked, and causing a scene might just be my way out. I pull my leg off the platform to do just that when I catch something about to fall off. It's the holopad Turkish F07 has left by my side. Maybe there's some information in it that can help me cheat my way through the test instead. What should I do? Oh man, Minecraft, we're an imperfect clone. This is off to a disaster already.
I mean, I'm sure this is fine. I mean, we can't be imperfect.
Surely not.
Not us. Even our personality is made up of two distinct entities. So, what kind of Horatio are we? For a fight or look up information?
I'll look for some information, I think.
Alright, we could get this other guy thrown in the chute.
That'd be pretty good too.
That's our nutrient paste right there.
Delicious. I'll go for the subtle approach. I don't know, subtle seems more Horatio, but maybe not. I sit back down and put the holopad in my lap. There's a number of tabs open: medical procedures, inventories, and news. There's a tab that seems to be a serial called Forbidden Love. I press the button in front of the image to show resumes. And the show resumes, sorry. The sound is off, subtitles are on. I can only guess that Turkish F07 is not as studious as he appears. The show is taking place in a richly decorated room with draperies hanging off the walls. Pieces of ornate furniture, elongated vases, and tall chalices. Everywhere portraits, statues, 3D holograms representing me. Well, the me who's in charge. We seem really into ourselves. And right on cue, there's another me on screen. He's arguing about something with somebody we can't see. Two other Horatios come into view, one dressed as a soldier, the other in a civilian clothing. The soldier is demanding a rebellion on a distant colony be met with force, while the civilian is offering a more measured approach, presenting it as magnanimous. The argument goes back and forth for a bit, with the main me, whom they call Prime, eventually making the call. He'd be magnanimous and offer the rebels a chance to redeem them. The soldier stomps off, while the other guy sticks around and shuffles closer to him. They share a quick embrace before he slinks off. I fast forward a bit. The soldier comes back in the next scene, in some sort of parlor. Prime and him exchange some oblique remarks, and it becomes clear that in the shadows, things are going to be pretty bad for the rebels anyway. So, that's the way things are done around here, okay. And then the soldier tears off his uniform, revealing a perfectly smooth chest. The two exchange a smoldering look, their lips meet with passion, and they fall to the ground. Gosh.
My Prime, he's really passionate.
Yeah, very. Oh. I hear footsteps approaching, and I swiftly put the tablet back down. Fergus F07 is coming my way. Oh, yes. I rest my hands on the platform and do my best to look detached. I'm ready to play the part. Right, picks up the tablet, swipes through it, and then looks up at me. Right. Okay, I'll ask you a couple of questions. Just make sure everything's fine. Get the thing over, pal. I've got places to be. Settle down, please. It'll take a moment. Looks like the motor controls are working fine. Let's take that box and move on to a memory test. I'll make it short. What is the name of the first and foremost our God, creator, benevolent leader? I mean, you know.
I'd probably go for bottom one.
The man of my dreams. Yeah. Sure, let's I mean, that's true. Fergus F07 lowers his holopad for a second and swoons. I know, right? He's so dreamy. He inhales sharply and looks into the distance. His gaze loses focus for a moment, and then he comes back. Whoops. Sorry, got caught in a moment. You're good to go. Well, don't go anywhere. Just sit tight and wait until we're done processing everyone else. With that, he moves on, taking his holopad with him. I lay back on the platform and relax. Sometime later, the I was about to say the assassin. The assistant comes back. Oh, thank you for waiting. I'm gonna ask you to please head to the wardrobe, the next room over, where you'll find your station uniform. Anyone will do, they're all the same size, obviously, huh? After that, you'll be directed towards indoctrination. I mean, yeah, actually, you know, it's very easy to make clothes, I guess, in this world. There's one huge factory.
It's grown, yeah.
This will be followed by dinner, orientation, and you'll be shown to your quarters. Oh man, this is all great. Now, this way, please. Whee! The door to the next room opens, and we step inside. There's a few tables at the far end of the room. Uniforms are neatly stacked and folded next to one another. We look at one another uneasily until someone steps forward and grabs a uniform, looking at it warily, and puts it on. Suit? It is some sort of green jumpsuit with pockets. It closes with a zipper in the front. The uniform is pretty snug fit, and the fabric seems sturdy yet comfortable. I notice there are pairs of light boots on the table, so I take a pair. They're a bit tight. I put my hands in my pockets and look around me. What's next? The wait doesn't last. After a minute, another door opens. The assistant from before is holding his holopad and peers inside. Okay, we normally, there's somebody else to show you to indoctrination, which is short-staffed at the moment, apparently. A grumble from my neighbors at his lack of decorum. I've lit up a path on the holoscreens. It'll guide you there. Just please proceed down that hallway to the concourse and follow instructions. Sorry about that. I shuffle out of the room and hesitantly walk down the hallway, hoping that I won't get lost. The others are following me, although at a distance. No one's seeming to want to take the initiative. They seem to be familiar with our surroundings, but not with the layout of the station. At least none of us has to pretend. I think no one wants to be the one going down the wrong way and making a mistake in front of the others. I've seen crossroads twice and stuck to the path indicated by an arrow on the wall screens. So far, so good. Walking, let's follow. Eventually I hear a murmur in the distance. It grows to a distinct noise as we draw nearer. I see bright lights in the distance and much more colorful environment. I step out onto the plaza, a cathedral of green and gold. There are columns and glass everywhere, with manicured trees and shrubs in every corner, and overhead, an immense glass canopy. This must be the concourse. There are lots of other people here, all wearing the same jumpsuits as we are, probably fresh new clones just like us. Even my jaded brethren around me are all murmuring among themselves in tones of wonder and amazement. as if talking out loud might make the wonders fade away. "Oh, this way, please." The voice cuts through the noise effortlessly, and in a moment, the conversation goes quiet. Horatio has appeared in an immense holoscreen, inviting us to move along. There are more projections on the hallways leading to, what was it? Indoctrination? It sounds unpleasant. Nonetheless, I follow the crowd. We meander through the corridors for a couple of minutes before we reach our destination. This is a huge room covered in rich materials, from the deep carpeting in the middle of the room to the paneled walls. There are long rows of wide, comfortable-looking seats, all facing a wall covered with an immense holoscreen. Low columns form arcades and run along the walls of the room. It's beautiful. A Horatio in a red suit is standing with arms crossed on a low podium in front of the holoscreen. He has a look of studied annoyance on his face. Once all of us are inside the room, he speaks up.
"May I have your attention, please?"
The crowd falls silent. His voice carries across the room, and even from somewhere near the entrance, I can easily hear them.
"Please take a seat. Go all the way through the row. Don't just hog the center seats. You'll hear me just fine from the sides as well."
There's a bit of rush forward from the new clones to do exactly the opposite of that. Soon enough, a cluster of Horatios are sitting in the prime seats and preventing the rest of the file from moving along.
"Oh, but he's sick." "Go around the audience and find seats from the other side and occupy the back and side seats if necessary."
I position myself carefully in a spot at the back. I'd rather watch what's happening and do my best to blend in. The Horatio in the red outfit seems about to continue when another moves in from a shadowy arcade inside the room and climbs the step to the podium. His feet echo softly on the green marble tiles. The red Horatio closes his mouth and deflates a bit. The other one is moving pretty slowly, and from the envious looks of my closest neighbors, I can only imagine that is on purpose. He dismisses Red with a casual gesture of the hand and a smile. Red Horatio leaves the stand. With a grin, the second Horatio turns to us, his cape flowing in an emphatic demonstration that he is here and demands our attention. When he speaks, his inflection is slightly different. I surmise that he probably spends a lot of time speaking in public.
"Thank you. Second right, Master Sergeant Extras B12. That'll be all. To each and every me, welcome to Kappa Station, finest in the cluster. Your memory imprints do not cover the last couple of decades, since the last backup was distributed among cloning facilities in this quadrant. Therefore, a lot of information you know, and the things you know, may be outdated. This is a crash course in what has happened while you were sleeping. Let's start with the most important thing, etiquette with regards to my person. You may address me as third rank esteemed Grand Headmaster Ratchai Eternus PO2.
Oh my. That is something very esteemed.
Horatio, but just call me.
Yes.
In settings that only compromise initiate, level, and above station personnel, you may simply call me Grand Headmaster or Master Eternus PO2. In public, you will always address me as your likeness.
I like that. Of course, your likeness.
Provided that no honorifics have been properly given and received, in a small setting you may subsequently call me sir.
Pauses for a second.
Now that this is covered, let us move on to secondary topics. First, your own identity. It is a great pleasure that I deem you all initiates. More specifically, your full name will be First Level Initiate Megrez, since that is your facility of origin, and then your chosen name, along with your decanting birth and batch number. You are batch 21 of this administration. There is a holopad on your desk. You may use it now and approve your suggested name, or pick another one.
I look at the holopad resting atop the desk. The screen reads, First Level Initiate Margaret Placeholders F21. Is that... Do I really want to be called by that name? Do we be called Placeholders F21?
I feel like we should just type in Horatio.
Do you think it will react to that? I kind of thought if it did. Break my mind for an idea. Did I randomly type in letters? Wait, no. I'll be stuck with that. Better find something discreet to blend in. Press the delete button. The words enter your name appear. Enter your name.
It's called Horatio. Here we go. That's discreet.
This seems like this will create a lot of confusion as we go along here. Sure. Let's be called Horatio. You can the words "you cannot name yourself Horatio, for you are not him" appears on the screen. If no satisfying name is entered, you will lose naming privileges. Oh my goodness! I guess there is only one Horatio.
What do we do now?
Horatio.
Oh yes.
Right, Horatio.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Horatio 69.
If we call Horatio 6921, I would actually.
Yeah.
I would instead of 69, I'd put a colon there.
Like this?
No, I mean like 2 dots, right? You wanna? Yeah.
Yeah.
We call Horatio 21.
I get it. I like 69 though. That's
All right.
Horatio 69. That's us.
That's what love is about. Wait. All right.
Yes. Megris Horatio 69 F21. That is a good name. That is a good name. And yes, Weck, this is indeed Horatio from the Endless Space games. I hope it brings me luck, you know. The Horatio on stage must have some way of checking our progress, because after a moment he continues.
As initiates, you need not address Category X personnel or unsightly species you may encounter directly. You may find the closest underling to do that for you.
Oh, that's nice.
Be aware that there are many new species that have been added to his glorious empire. Xenoglies aside, Xenoglies aside, there may be some more aliens around the station. Do not be alarmed. They should all be tame. Generally, the rough and unwashed masses are kept away from their betters, but several client species are permanent residents aboard Kappa Station. It is entirely possible that you will come across some of their representation over the course of the next few weeks. Should you need to communicate with them, they are familiar with our speech and will attempt to replicate it to the best of their ability. Most of the new species we have encountered have proven to be just as disappointing as we expected.
He smirks. He flicks his wrist and pulls his belt buckle free. With a wave, the buckle lights up, revealing a small holopad. Fancy.
Now, for a brief overview of what has happened in the last decades.
I'm ready.
Relationships with so-called fledgling United Empire remains very cold. Representatives from their young leader, a male human called Celebes, have refused vassalage under the auspicious leadership of Horatio himself.
Oh.
Similarly, they have repelled violently several attempts at claiming outer planets for our empire. Proceed with caution. Relationships with the robotic insectoid hive known as the Kravas are still at an all-time low.
Oh.
They have eaten the last dozen envoys, as well as the ships they came on. The colony of Heka was deemed lost after we had to vitrify the surface in the year 10191 after him. Their strength would make a great addition to the Empire, but at this time we are not pursuing any efforts further. Similarly, we are currently not in speaking terms with the Sophon Republic. The diminutive know-it-alls have recently jumped the gun and seized the system of Ingress, and wait, this happened centuries ago.
He flicks through several screens on his holoscreen in rapid succession.
All this information is completely out of date. Who messed with the geopolitics database? I'm surrounded by complete idiots. I swear, never mind this.
He turns off the holoscreen size and then continues.
I guess I will be doing this from memory. It might be a bit patchy, something that your own memories will definitely encounter too once you start living in your body for a while. Something to do with having a millennia of memories of him. Moving on, you might be wondering why so many of you are being decanted at this time, and for what purpose. This station is home to Horatio Academy, where the best and brightest of his siblings come from all across the Empire for further education. The best of these, in turn, get a shot at joining the Outer Academy, led by a Vodiani male called Isyanda.
Oh.
The Vodiani. Life-sucking ghouls who live in a gigantic space arcs and prey on the defenseless souls of our brethren. Except this Yanda fellow, who fled them and founded the Academy, a place that has grown into immense power. They have knowledge and mastery of dust. Your purpose, if you end up being among the chosen few, is to go there and acquire some of this knowledge and power, and bring it back for the glory of his empire. Finally, the why so many of you at once? Well, 2 of our exploration vessels disappeared recently. They contained the brightest minds of this generation, our best shots at getting the knowledge we're seeking.
So we're going to high school, basically.
Yes.
Awesome.
They're gone now. Just a few very short weeks before Horatio Prime himself is due to review our Academy cadets.
Oh no.
Horatio Prime is coming to Kappa Station, and we have no cadets. The shame this would bring me, and the whole station, would be unbearable. Anyway, you have got about 3 weeks to become these cadets. There will be an extensive training. There will be classes. There will be etiquette courses and lessons of the latest courtly dances.
Oh, great.
There will be no failure, or else.
Always have the recycling chute.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you have questions, keep them for your instructors tomorrow. Time for you to get your sustenance and retire to your personal quarters.
He turns away and walks out the same way he came, under the arcades and out of sight. This Aternus PO2 guy is something else. What do you think?
It's a dating sim, so these things all matter.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
are we allured by his power and his suave nature?
Cadence, perfection.
Yes.
I suppose, but isn't he also kind of like our boss?
Yeah, he kind of is.
It seems like an unhealthy relationship to ourselves.
Maybe.
I mean, there's the There's a neutral option too, if
Yeah,
you
I
just want to
guess
be
let's
non-committal so
yeah,
far.
well, let's not commit.
We'll shop around a little, you know.
Yeah. Take a look, see what other me's are around.
Mhm.
If I understand it correctly, I have 3 weeks to not only pass for a normal Horatio, but to become an outstanding specimen worthy of sending on to steal secrets from a powerful alien entity. Gotcha. Will have already started getting up when the other ones come back. Master Sergeant something, I believe.
Attention, please. You're now going to be provided with dinner. Follow me to the mess hall.
Without waiting, he turns around, walks down the podium and off into the direction opposite the one we came. My brother and I quickly follow. Oh, delicious. We finally get here. Compared to the concourse and the room we were just in, this is a rather drab place. Somehow halfway between a spaceport and a hospital. Doesn't look like a place to enjoy dinner as much as a place to eat, a place to feed oneself. Some of my, I guess, classmates are already in line. A few have already sat down to eat something I can't quite identify yet. I have decided to say classmates since I can't settle on whether we should be feeling any kinship towards one another. It does feel strange to hear brethren every other sentence, and I guess calling us cadets might be getting ahead of myself yet. The headmaster's speech didn't really help normalize the situation, really. Someone bumps into me, and I realize I'm holding up the queue. I get in line, grab a tray, and slide it on the rail. There are some odd kitchen utensils available, but I'm not sure what purpose they serve, so I compromise by taking a spoon from the lot. On closer inspection, I realize it's a spork. Future looks amazing.
Only perfection.
The spork. I look up at the people serving us food. They're all Horatios too, wearing some sort of jumpsuit and looking pretty upset to be here. One hand. Oh yeah, look at this guy. One has me a bowl of something I don't quite recognize, serving me a mean look at the same time. I'm surprised by the direct eye contact, and before I know it, I'm saying, hello? Thank you? The Horatio lunch person is surprised, as I am, and frowns before saying back.
Hello, enjoy your food.
This cartoon is the endless space universe. This is what you can expect. I've never before seen anyone be so begrudging as saying thank you. But then again, I've not seen many people. Take it easy, friend. I shuffle along and look at the contents of my bowl. It's slop, definitely slop. I don't know what it's made of and what animal it came out of. Oh well, at least it seems hot. I grab some water and a piece of bread. No dessert options. Inslee. I look around for a place to sit next to someone, hoping for a bit of, any kind of interaction. I sit down next to a bored-looking classmate, but after a few overtures and encouraging smiles, I give up. Every me is a bit on edge, and other tablets, it looks like people are focusing on contents of their trays. The slop proves to taste just as awful as it looks. Once I'm done pushing about the last bits of food left, I stand up and put on my tray. I stand up and go put my tray back where I've seen others do so. A fair bunch of people have left already, and looking at their trays, it seems like I'm not the only one for whom enjoyment of our dinner was minimal. Off to the side, there's a guard ticking people off a long list and sending them down a hallway. It's the Master Sergeant dude again, I think. Some of us seems to have different face markings and uniforms, although I'm not sure what the meanings are. We lock eyes and he barks up.
What's your name, first level initiate?
I announce clearly, I am Horatio 69F21, first level initiate, Megres Horatio 69F21. And if you're asking in chat, yes, we did name this. He searches for a few moments, then finds it.
Yes, Horatio 69F21. Your living quarters are in section B8, level 9, hallway 47, door 32.
Oh, okay, remember that.
It's down this way. Just follow the signs. You can't miss it. And if you do, we'll figure it out eventually.
I look the way he's pointing and nondescript hallway off to the side leading away from the concourse. I look back at the guard and he's turned his attention somewhere else. Hesitantly, I set out to find door 32.
That's like, oh, this idiot.
Yes, oh my god.
Yeah.
This looks Horatio. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Very,
Clever.
yeah, very droll. My footsteps echo softly down long, empty hallways. It takes me some time to realize I don't see anyone else, although I sometimes hear voices echoing from afar. Eventually, I found my way to level 9, hallway 47. Even quieter area of the station, which is saying something. There are small doors here, tiny affairs compared to the ones in the main concourse. Even the ceiling is much lower, about 2 meters high. That is kind of low for a ceiling. The lighting is a mix of neon glare and the ever-oppressive flicker of a tube that just refuses to give up the ghost. I look around me to get my bearings. It seems I'm nearly at the end of the hallway, where a bend leads to some sort of control system for life support. I guess I'm getting the finest air in the area then? With one last look towards the map, I start down the hall. 1, 2... 31, 32, this must be it. I look around. Might be the finest air in the area, but boy oh boy, the end of the hallway looks like it hasn't seen a mop in weeks. There's a strange sounds coming from the next door over, which must be the life support control room. Ominous. Is this the right place? Session B8, level 9, hallway 47, door 32. Yup, no doubt, this is me. I pull the heavy metallic door open with a groan and step inside. Oh, what a lovely place. From my vantage point, I survey my new kingdom. From left to right, there's a tiny sink for my ablutions, a mirror that doubles as a holoscreen, a toilet with no lid, a closet, a narrow bunk with a blanket and a pillow, some almost empty shelves, and we're back to the door. All in a cylinder, about 2 by 4 meters. Cozy. Well, this may not be the warm embrace of a cloning birth, but it will do. At least I have the place to myself. Pull the door closed behind me. There's a distracting buzzing coming from the overhead fan. Finest there, huh? I sit down on the bed and look around. It's a bit too hot in here now that the door is closed. There are actual physical controls on the panel by the entrance, so I turn the temperature down a notch. The buzzing increases to a screech, something scraping on metal. There's no way I can sleep with this thing on. Turn the knob back up to its original level and the metal screech subsides. Ugh, screw it. I'll do for tonight. Pop myself down on my bed, turn off the light and pull the blanket over my head. A sinister rumble in my belly. That doesn't bode well. I wake up with a start. I had a strange sensation. A dream? A dream in which everyone was wearing the same face and smile and snarl at one another in the same breath. We were all playing part of some big play, and I seemed to be the only one not to know my lines, and my mask fell off. I died. I sigh heavily and push myself off the mattress. I stagger off the bed and put my hands on each side of the sink. I look into the mirror holoscreen. The dream was real. I feel a strong urge to puke. I clench my hands on the sink until the knuckles are as white as the faux porcelain and breathe deeply as I can. The feeling passes. I open my eyes again. I notice there's a blinking icon flashing on the holoscreen. It expands when I press it until it covers half the screen. Breakfast, mess hall. Classes, Academy Auditorium 3. Lunch, mess hall. Extracurriculars, specific. Dinner, mess hall. Advanced classes, specific. Breakfast is grayed out and classes is bolded. Looks like I'm late for my first day of class. I bolt out of the door and run like my life depends on it, because it does. Sorry I'm late. Grand Headmaster.
Yeah. You are late indeed, First Level Initiate. It seems that the redesign of the station altered it enough that fresh initiates do not find corresponding plans in their memories. Still, the last of your classmates arrived 10 minutes ago.
Oh dear.
Have a seat. In the future, make sure you arrive on time. Initiate Horatio 69F21.
I scurried to my seat in the back. Against my better judgment, my ears and cheeks have turned a very nice shade of pink. I can hear my classmates snicker. Sink into the deep comfort of the chair and try to ignore the burning sensation. My empty stomach adds its groans to the chorus. This is just great. The Eternus PO2 gestures to the holoscreen behind him.
Moving on. Over the next 3 weeks, you will undergo an accelerated program. You would better not miss a class. Subject covered will be, among others.
He starts listing off subjects in rapid fire monotone that is hard to follow. I make out a few words.
History of Horatio in the last 100 years, astrocartography, egociation, instead of negotiation, etiquette, startup imperialism, dance, valeting, personal grooming, speechcraft, xenobiology, dealing with lessers, Horatiology, cooking, reception protocol.
I like startup in imperialism and Horatiology. It's pretty good.
Well, why have medicine when you're all the same?
Exactly.
Fencing, Horatio resources, perfumes, genomic interference, hand-to-hand combat, social hygiene, sublight navigation, logistics, glorynomics, cloning 101, personal disruption, surveillance, xenopolitics, imperial maintenance, fleet maneuvers, speechcraft care 101, aerobics, and guns. 4-star.
I frown. This sure sounds like an eclectic mix. I have a feeling that simply repeating the list will take up most of the 3 weeks at our disposal.
We will begin with an all-time favorite, personal grooming.
Of course, very important. My classmates lets out an appreciative and approving nods on the subject of choice. Yes, very interesting. Yeah. Next up is a very detailed anatomical representation of Horatio. Eternus PO2 begins. Melodious chimes sound off in the distance. Heads perk up and look around.
Time flies when we're having fun.
I loved it.
I mean, we're called Horatio.
We're called Horatio, it's true. Oh.
Truly, there would be so much more to say. There's a lot more course material.
Oh, I believe you.
We will get some of it later, but for now, it is time for you to get lunch. This afternoon, you will be assigned your first extracurricular activities.
Oh my.
They will be assigned to you based on your personal affinities. I will see you all.
He pauses for dramatic effect.
Tomorrow, same place, same time. Do not be late.
Passing glance in my direction is all the confirmation I need. I look away with a detached air and avoid making eye contact. Back in the mess hall, they seem to slop us back as well. I sigh. I can't tell I've had better because obviously, but I'm pretty sure these aren't fine foods we're supposed to be enjoying. The faces around me are a mix of resignation and grumpiness, confirming my hunch. Ain't no one liking the grub here. I shuffle along line with my tray. The same Horatio I saw yesterday hands me a bowl of the slop. I sigh again. The Horatio lunch person hears it and its expression changes.
Hey, you think this is enjoyable for me?
He's like the bad boy.
Yeah.
Rebel.
It isn't.
Oh wow. Look at him. You wouldn't happen to have something to make this taste a little bit better? Anything? He considers for a moment, snatches a little spice shaker from the counter and hands it to me.
You can always sprinkle this on top.
I pour a little what turns out to be a pungent red powder on my food. I stop, look at the bowl, then add a little more, and a little more still. Soon my bowl is covered in a thin layer of red. The lunch person looks bemused.
That should be enough, buddy.
Okay, thanks. I hand back the shaker and I go find a seat. Let's socialize.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah.
Sit and be snooty.
These snooty people.
Oh.
No, Horatio. We just had a whole like morning with personal grooming. Encouraged by what could very possibly be my first conversation, I looked to find a seat with other people. I found a table with an empty spot. I put my tray down, the conversation got quiet, and faces turned towards me.
You're already an outcast.
One of them pipes up.
Well, this isn't the late Horatio F20 69 F21.
Yeah, exactly. I realized my mistake. Pick up my tray and go sit my own. Oh, I will find no camaraderie from my classmates now that I have been made the class dunce. I dip my spork in the bowl and give the new improved formula a taste. It's actually pretty good. It's a rich taste of something or other. It's just unexpectedly warm, warms up and explodes with flavor. I look up from my bowl, full of gratitude for the Horatio lunch person. I smile at him and give a thumbs up. He nods at me and cocks an eyebrow. I shovel a big spoonful of the delicious slop into my face, barely chewing it, and then the spice hits me. My tongue suddenly becomes very, very hot. It takes me a moment to realize what's happening. By the time I do, my mouth is fully engulfed in what feels like fire. I do my best to choke on my food quietly, fighting back tears. The Horatio behind the counter is laughing heartily. He did it on purpose. Well, do we acknowledge him or do we ignore him?
I think we should acknowledge him.
Alright. I give him a mean look, or at least I try to. Laugh turns into a smile. I leave my tray on the table. He waves at me as I exit the mess hall. I wander back to my room. I feel a trail of fire down my throat and into my stomach. I wash my face at the sink. I slowly regain some composure. The schedule on my holopad switches from lunch to extracurriculars. A little pop-up menu indicates that I'm having imperial maintenance in the kitchen. I'm not sure what this is about, but I know I don't want to be late for it or to anything ever again. I trot out of my room. We're back here, huh? Get to the mess hall minutes later. Running was not a good idea. My stomach is vehemently protesting as I look around for, well, I'm guessing the rest of the class. The other students assigned here? That was certain. The place is now entirely deserted. It's strange, nobody but me. I'm about to walk out and look for a holopad to check my schedule when I hear a call.
Hey, they assigned you? What a coincidence.
I think this is our choice is coming to effect immediately here. Tycho in Shadows asks, if Horatio 69 dies, will we come back as Pimp Quota 69? I turn around. It's the lunch person who tricked me. He's waving me over from behind the counter.
Come over here. Imperial maintenance, huh? You must have really imperially pissed someone off.
I get around the counter and into the kitchen. This place is a mess. I stand in front of him, my face a carefully composed mask. The fact that my food is still churning in my stomach doesn't help me. The fact that my food is still churning in my stomach, I feel queasy.
Oh, come on, don't be like that. It was just a harmless prank, bro. I couldn't know you were already on someone's shit list.
I look at him, frowning. Something's not right in my belly. It feels like I'm trying to crawl back up.
Oh, you probably didn't know. Well, Imperial maintenance is basically the janitorial duties are all yours.
Oh, I see.
Nobody wants to push him up for a living, so it's dished out as a punishment. Looks like you and me are on cleaning duty today.
Wow, what a bad boy. I'm about to speak up when a sudden urge to retch overpowers me. I vomit on the floor. Oh gosh.
And this is where you'll start.
I hate the feeling, but I have to say I'm immediately relieved.
Red firegrass will do that to you when you put on too much. I did kind of set you up for it. Sorry.
He hands me a dishcloth, which I wipe my mouth with.
I'm Darian F19, by the way. Second level initiate Megrez Darian F19.
Second level. that lower or higher than us?
Looks like a class above us, I
Oh,
guess.
I guess.
He always gets detention.
He's such a bad boy, but he's so dreamy. Horatio 69. First level initiate, Megres Horatio 69 F21. The F, I believe, stands for our cloning batch. I think that's what it was. Like, we are batch F21, so that's what that is.
So he's technically like 2 years old now.
I guess so, yeah.
Well, 2 batches, I guess.
Yeah. His hand still open, extends towards me. He looks intently at me. Take his hand?
We could, yeah. Sure.
Or do we give him the vomit cloth? I mean, he's friendly. Sorta.
Well, alright.
Don't you think?
Sure, yeah. Let's shake his hand then.
Place my hand in his and squeeze, feeling like it's the appropriate thing to do after introductions. He looks taken aback. Oh no, we were too forward. His hand is warm and limp in my clammy fingers. The experience is deeply uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I was trying to do there. We let go. Oh no, I embarrassed myself immediately. I grab a mop and a bucket and set out cleaning my mess. Darren F19 is surreptitiously snatches the dishcloth from the countertop I've let it on. He does his best to look like he's cleaning, but after a couple of glances at him, it is clear that he's just puttering about. From time to time, he looks back at how I'm getting on. Once I'm more or less done, he turns to me.
Yep, I think we're pretty much done here. What do you think?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know about you, but I've got places to be.
What a rebel.
Better things to do than pushing him up around. This is why our like home is dirty.
Yeah, it is.
We could just call this a day and go about our lives. What does that sound?
Won't we get caught? I'm not exactly popular right now. Having had this laugh directed at me minutes ago, I'm not sure how to take it.
Right. You're on the shit list. Let me show you how things really work around here.
Walks up to the wall-mounted holopads and starts typing around, flicking windows open until he finds what he's looking for.
There, see? Imperial Maintenance Kitchen. Our names. That's basically the low-level schedule. Well, if you put your hand on the biometric scanner here and then click on the edit, you can, you can just remove us from this.
Oh.
Extracurricular. My smooth ass.
I have to admit I'm impressed. And that really works?
Gotta tell you something. Something you may not have realized yet. The security measures are here to protect the Empire from its indesirables. They're not exactly geared to protect it from insiders who might have different inclinations.
Wow. He turns to me.
So what do you say? Are we done here?
I consider my options.
So we could either try to earn back our good graces by doing really well,
Yeah,
but that'll piss this guy off quite a bit.
probably.
Or we could be like a rebel that's cool, like him, but that would make us stand out.
Yeah.
Or we could be a wimp, which probably is the worst of both choices.
That's probably yes. Well, what do
Then
you
we
think?
just get sent back to the scientist, right?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe down to shoot. For all we know.
Yeah. I mean, that's the food, so
Yeah, ew.
it's rejected genetic material.
Yeah, it really is.
Mm.
It's made out of Horatio.
Mhm. Broken.
Well,
wrong
you know,
Horatio.
yes, it's a failure.
Imperfection.
Yes, exactly.
It tastes terrible.
It's really...
The good people get to eat real Horatio.
Oh, great. Oh, good. Oh, gosh. Well, are we rebels, or do we want to earn our way back up the ladder, so to speak?
This is a big choice, man. What kind of Horatio are we? Right? We have to be a blank slate. We got no.
I don't know.
We don't
man.
got the memories, man. What? So, what would Horatio do? And what would Horatio do?
That is the question, right? Because Horatio 69 is, not like other Horatios in secret.
Yeah. So on one hand, I don't think Horatio would ever try to prove it right. That's not how Horatio works. Horatio would think that this is way below him.
Yeah.
So I actually think that being the rebel here is kind of the right choice. It's not what people want us to do, but it's what everyone would do.
Right.
Right.
No, I get your logic.
You don't take your trillions of dollars on a spaceship to go out and make an empire of genetic clones because you are risk averse.
Fair enough. All right, we're done here. We got an achievement. You know what? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be learning here, but you said it. I'm not gonna stay here and push them up around.
Right on.
He presses a few buttons on the holopad and moments later turns back to me.
Our work here's done. Let's go.
He moves to leave and I follow. I notice he's still carrying the dishcloth with him, which I do find pretty gross.
Should buy us a couple of hours. Nobody will check in on us because
he leans in conspiratorially.
They all think they've got better things to do too.
We exit the same way we come in, through the mess hall. Darian F-19 is walking a couple of steps ahead of me. Seeing as I personally don't have any destination in mind, I'm tagging along. He notices, stops and turns around.
Listen, friend. I got places to go, people to be. Let's keep this casual, shall we?
Oh. By the time I've processed that I was being dismissed, he's rounded the corner and the hallway and disappeared.
We were a pretty weird guy just sort of following him.
We were kind of, yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm just coming with. And he's like, hey, what do you...
Excuse me.
We don't follow.
No,
right?
I don't want to be... Horatio. Exactly, I don't want to be clingy. Go to explore around, yeah. I decided, well, if he's got things to do, I'll just have to find my own fun. Start walking in another direction, aimlessly for sure, as I have no idea where most of these hallways lead. Nonetheless, I try to maintain that arrogant outward attitude of every me. After a few minutes of aimless wandering, my steps take me back to the concourse. It's almost empty compared to the first time I saw it. Still, the murmurs of distant conversation, the echoing footsteps, the light filtering from outside, all of it contributes to giving the place an air of reverence. I try to not to gawk as I walk around. The freely growing trees, the fountains and water pieces with running water, all of this contributes to paint a picture of an empire built on boundless pride. We are, I'm pretty sure of, one small mistake away from a tragic accident here. If the glass ceiling here were to shatter, I mean, it's not glass, presumably.
Well,
then again. Yeah. Then again.
Paper thin sugar or something.
Boundless arrogance or endless optimism. Probably a little bit of both. I hear footsteps rapidly approaching and startle as I was caught doing something illegal. Thought crimes. Thankfully, nobody can hear what is going on in my head. Can they? I look discreetly over my shoulder and recognizes Extras B12, the Master Sergeant guy. An agitated conversation with, I think it was Turgus F07, the lab tech. I hear some of the exchange as they get closer.
What do you mean you don't know where he is?
Was this my? Yeah. I'm his instructor, same as you. I'm not here to track brothers at your convenience. If you, of all his siblings, hadn't kept on piling sanctions on him to build character, he might have been more assiduous in his attendance. Lectures B12 comes to an abrupt stop a couple of meters away from me and turns to face Targus F07, practically shouting in his face.
This is important.
Well, I'm sorry I can't help you. Not only is this not my expertise, but I've got prior engagements.
I don't get it. It's blowing ships up and showing Eternus PO2 your worth. He was lucky to be selected for fleet maneuvers in the first place. Who wouldn't jump at the chance?
Looks like it wouldn't. Extras B12 stomps off down the hallway. Fergus F07 turns around in a dignified, rigid posture. He mutters in the general direction of Master Sergeant. I'm almost late for my picnic now. Now, where's the greenhouse? Ah, this way. He walks away at a leisurely pace. Fleet maneuvers. That sounds like an advanced class. It could be a way of blowing things up, take the pressure off, or a way to try and fit in, for what I'm worth. On the other hand, a picnic. What do you want to do?
I mean,
This
could be a chance to rise up the ranks,
could be.
right?
Want to do
I
fleet?
don't know. Would you rather go to a picnic with the science guy or to the fleet maneuvers class with the angry sergeant?
You know, when I said it like that, I mean, a picnic sounds fun, but then again, fleet maneuvers is kind of cool.
I mean, do we want to be janitorial duty every day of our life?
No.
Is this where we belong? Or do we want to go steal alien secrets for our weird empire?
I would like to do that, yes.
Yeah, well, then we should probably go and impress people. Well, the greenhouse, maybe we can be like a science person, you know.
Anyway, yeah.
But who are they talking about?
I don't know.
Who is it that they push with adversity?
I have no idea.
Could it be us? Are we the ones who are
Oh my god,
special?
are we chosen?
We more Horatio
Exactly.
than the others.
Our Horatio ratio in horror.
Theirs is like 67.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
even like 66.
Yeah, ours is like 9.
Hmm.
I mean,
I don't think there's a wrong choice here. Honestly, I think it's just a flavor of business.
For business. Military science, that is definitely the question.
Yeah.
The fleet maneuvers.
All right, fleet maneuvers.
I like fleet maneuvers, although I do like picnics, but you know, I have possibly missed opportunity like that. I take off in the direction Master Sergeant went. Catch up with him. Hey, Master Sergeant Extras B12. Sir, I couldn't help but overhear that you're short on personnel. I want in.
Horatio 69F21, right? It's true. We are me short. One of the cadets scheduled to take part in the advanced classes missed the last exercise and is nowhere to be found. If you want to replace him, simply do as you're told in all circumstances. How familiar are you with MK-43 armament systems and their controls?
Not at all.
Oh, that's right. This model only came out a few years ago.
Phew.
Your memory imprinting dates back from before then. For that matter, so does mine. Most of us are made Kappa Station decanted. Anyway, it's fine. It is a lot like the rest of the MK-40 series. You'll figure it out.
Starts walking again, and I follow. For long, we get to a small door leading to the command deck of a battleship. Ooh. Extras B12 notices my gaping in awe and chuckles.
Impressive. Yes, I suppose you would never seen a hollow room before. The technology is pretty new. This one here produces all manner of spaceship decks for training purposes. It was commissioned roughly a decade ago after the Invictus Fleet incident. Live exercises were deemed too costly by the administration. Officially, this is Hollow Training Room 15 for deckside fleet maneuvers, but we've taken to calling it simply the Battle Bridge. Let's get in, your classmates are already here.
Battle Bridge, got it. Steps inside, ducking a little to get through the door, a regular-sized frame with a couple of criss-crossing hollow lines tracing the shape of the hatch. It appears wholly unnecessary, but I'm guessing it's a habit for having served on real. I mean, if we play along here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why I did that, but maybe it made me look more professional. Master Eternus P02 steps out from behind a huge console. Master Eternus PO2.
He's here. Look what the star tide washed in. Horatio 69 F21. What brings you here?
I open my mouth to answer, but the Master Sergeant cuts me short.
Bond Headmaster, the cadet offered to replace Darian F19, who's nowhere to be found and hasn't answered any summons.
Oh, he was the one next to us.
No, he's the one who's special.
Yeah. God damn it, I hate Darian F19.
Yeah, god damn it, he's so handsome.
God damn it. Ah.
I just,
He gets all the Horatios all the
you
time.
know, why can't I be so cool?
Exactly, damn it.
What a disappointment. Yet you believe this will prove us talented with weapon systems, but more assiduous. Astudious?
Assiduous? Astudious? I don't know. Extras B12 looks at me before turning back to face Eternus PO2.
I have full confidence in any brother from the Macris batch. He's a Macris supremacist.
He is.
It sure beats having to man that station by myself anyway.
Not the resounding endorsement I was hoping for, but it'll do.
Make sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
Uh-oh. Master Sergeant directs me towards a gigantic battle station. The wide seat and a whole array of panels, commands, and knobs.
This is your station. Please be seated. The new headrest feels nice, huh? MK43. This guy plays Warhammer 40,000. MK43 series has been moved controls around a bit, so the weapon systems have shifted somewhat. Point defense guns are now on your left with laser and beam triggers in the middle. Missiles have been simplified compared to what you know, so it's really a point and shoot now with this stick controller.
What's this panel?
This is the boarding pod controls. They're not part of the doctrine right now, so we don't need to use them. Too much reticence amongst the crew to endanger one's face in a close quarters combat. They're not even manned.
It would be very Horatio not to have close combat troops because they don't want to damage the pretty cells.
They could be blemished. Nobody wants that.
Yeah. Oh, got it.
Any questions?
Oh, I'm good. No confidence here.
This will be fine.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's get started.
He straightens up and turns towards Eternus PO2.
We're ready to start, sir. Excellent. Load the simulation. Kobayashi so fond.
Oh no. Extras B12 gives Eternus PO2 a sidelong look.
Are you sure they're ready, sir? So fond. You heard me. Let's get started. Sit rep.
This rise from across the room. Communications ready. Damage control ready. Engineer ready. Fleet command ready. Navigation ready. Scan view ready. Security ready. Strike wing ready. All around me familiar faces, intent gazes, focused faces. They all seem to know what they're doing. I put on my most convincing game face and grab the controls. Weapon systems ready. Oh yes. I'm not sure how long this has been going on. But what I know is that it hasn't been going well. Our fleet objective is to intercept and destroy an exploration vessel sent by the Sophon Republic. The objective would be straightforward enough if the vessel weren't followed closely by what feels like the Republic's entire fleet. Most of our own fleet has been disabled or destroyed by what feels like an altogether preposterous amount of firepower, and that is the Sophons.
That is the Sophon, yeah.
Most of our systems are down, and our strike craft is in complete disarray. My missiles are all but gone, and the energy weapons cannot accumulate enough power for a shot. Put it mildly, we're in trouble. As the instructor now responsible for cadet military training, Extras B12 is visibly under a lot of stress. He's nonetheless trying his hardest to make us fulfill the objective of the mission.
Big command! Launch a pincer maneuver!
Impossible, sir. Our last Marchio frigate was disabled by the last hit. It's a whole fleet gone, I'm out. The cadet station turns dark, joining strike wing and engineering. Sir, our sensors have picked up the activation of a cloaking device on the enemy scout. We've lost our firing solution.
Firing solution, my smooth ass, cadet. Our tubes are empty, our guns are cold. This is a firing problem we're having.
He shoots me a grim look. With a little trigger happy with the missiles. Sure, I hit my targets and I can't be faulted for shooting at the opposition. I'm pretty sure I'm the only reason we're still afloat. The light flicker and a low rumble shakes the room. Oh, it's not a direct hit, sir. Oh, the shields are down. Damage control goes dark too. I think Master Sergeant is about to call it when I have an idea. Yes. It is so crazy it might just work, Malachi.
We're gonna go away and to find a new empire full of our clones.
No, we're probably gonna launch the rescue pods, right?
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it. Well, for maybe about 30 seconds, but I think there's a chance. I switch on internal communication. Weapon systems to security. Get your Marines to the boarding pods. Stat. What? There's no time to explain. Send every me who can hold a rifle. No! Roger that. I hear the cadet relay the order and watch my console as the boarding pods start coming online and filling up. Weapon systems to navigation. Plot a course that will allow direct firing of the pods to the enemy flagship. Oh, why are you doing that? They're not the target. I know. Do what you're told. Extras B12 backs me up.
Follow his lead. I sure hope you know what you're doing. She opens to shoot.
They have one in every room for some reason.
This one is drawn to those little mouthpieces and googly eyes on it. It's like,
look at me, I'm the captain now. Bearing 335 weapon systems, your firing solution is coming up. I look at my console. I have 6 boarding pods full of Marines, too precious to be willing to carry a gun in normal circumstances, and I'm about to fire them straight at the enemy carrier. I smash the launch button, and the boarding pods blast off the side of the ship. I open a line to the Marines inside. Listen up, brothers. It is my understanding that the troops aboard Sophon flagship are tiny nerds that are full 2 heads shorter than you. This is the Imperial Guard approach to motivation. They cannot reach the face of even the hunchbacks among your lot, so don't worry about getting them scratched. Heads up high. May his force be with you. I watch anxiously as the pods reach the point defenses line of the enemy carrier. A pod explodes in a shower of sparks, then another, but 4 of them get through and smash into the hull. I hear combat shatter on the comms. Marines, head to the bridge. This is no time for caution. Give it all you got. Go! I listen anxiously for sounds of progression. The cries of dying Marines and wounded sea uglies subside. Weapon systems, this is Marine leader. We have seized the bridge of the enemy flagship and disabled the doors. We have control of the ship, for now. Get a hold of their sensors, and you locate the cloaked scout on it. It should be clear as day on their own fleet. Aye. Yes. We have it on our starboard. It's attempting to escape. Get a lock on it and activate all the weapon systems you can find. But we're not trained to use Sophon's ship, sir. Then figure it out! I cut the line and watch the screen above my head with mounting anxiety. After a moment, a single missile leaves the Sophon torpedo bay and cruises towards the empty space. An intense explosion follows. Oh, we did it, sir. The lights have turned back on, and all stations lit up again. Extras B12 has a confused smile on his face. Steve Malika, isn't this much cooler than a picnic?
Man, I love that we refer to them, the enemy as tiny nerds,
Yeah.
2 head lengths shorter than you.
They can't even scratch my face. They can't even get to it.
Yeah.
Tiny little nerds.
It's true, though.
Yeah, it is.
We did it. We did it! I did it.
Exactly. It takes me a second to remember where I am. It was just an exercise. I'm drenched in sweat nonetheless. Extras B12 comes up to my station, beaming.
Congratulations, Horatio. 69F21. You've beat the Kobayashi Sophon.
He leans forward and adds more quietly.
In all my years, I've never seen a cadet crew able to defeat it.
Oh my.
It was conceived as a no-win scenario to test our brother's mettle in the face of certain death or worse, possible disfigurement.
He straightens up and concludes.
I am very impressed.
A Turner's PO2 appears, seemingly out of thin air.
This was unorthodox, but efficient. Good work.
Is it just me who now have a sudden urge to play Endless Space 2 as Horatio?
No.
Right? If this is what's going on, on those ships, I want in on this.
We might make a cadet out of you yet.
Anything to serve his empire, sir?
I'll suck up, but yeah.
I mean, we could be like, yeah, I'm awesome and cool, but they seem very happy, and I'll be sad to
to waste the goodwill.
Anything to serve his empire, sir? I'm smiling from ear to ear, flushed with pride. Get out from my station, pretend shrugging the compliments away. I notice that my comrades in arms aren't sharing the ambient glee. I'm guessing that single-handedly pulling off a victory from the jaws of defeat doesn't look too good in a dog-eat-dog world. We filter out to the battle bridge, and I saunter back home, exhausted. All in all, pretty happy with my day. Hey, we beat the Kobayashi so far. I've never been happier to see my bed. I dive face first into it and instantly fall asleep. I also noticed there's no shower here, so I guess we just...
No. Well, personal grooming is a...
It's true.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Over the next few days, I settle into a routine marked by classes mundane and strange alike. Much as possible.
I mean, we've set up in an individualist at this point.
Yeah, that's true, which is incredibly dangerous.
Oh yeah, but if you win, we win it all.
It's true.
And apparently they really want that other guy to be cool, and he's individual, so...
It's true, and I mean, our classmates have signaled that they really don't like us, so I mean, fuck them really.
Yeah.
I do attend the classes with extracurriculars up to a point. I try to keep a low profile and make sure no one notices me. For that, I used the trick Darian F19 showed me with the holoscreens. It works, I think, nonetheless.
Sounds not fun.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
To have this constant pressure of knowing that in a month, like, your maker god's gonna come and...
Oh man, I can't wait until we meet Horatio Prime, man. Okay, I don't know what to say.
He's 11,000 years old. At this point.
Oh gosh. I'm not sure how much longer I will be able to fake my way through the day until the moment I can take off the mask and be myself. Oh man. As I started Extras B12 and the instructor clone I've learned was called Third-Rate Chamberlain Megris Turgus F07. Join Master Eternius PO2 to lead specific classes. Third-Rate Chamberlain. From our accelerated program, our primary purpose becomes increasingly clear. We need to pass the inspection ceremony from Horatio Prime with flying colors and at any cost. Learning how to actually perform at this Lysander's Academy? Well, maybe later. Inspection is way more important. We learned that a big rehearsal is planned for the end of the week. My classmates seem excited. Personally,
nothing scares me more than this.
One more mistake and it's off the recycling chute with me. I'm sure of it. I dread this inevitability. And most importantly, remember...
Not mess this up. Do not screw this up, cadets. Whatever.
Darian F19. The ceremony rehearsal is taking place today on the concourse. My classmates and I are arrayed in two lines facing one another. The excitement is palpable for this part, as we are apparently going to perform the Imperial Bass Dance, a courtly dance that is extremely popular a few centuries ago. This explains why we've had almost no dance classes so far, as newly decanted clones and our instructors alike know the dance very well.
Oh no.
normally. I would say that my memory of it is foggy, but of course I have absolutely no recollection of this dance or anything ever. The only thing I know about dancing in the Horatio Empire are things I learned while browsing on my holoscreen. First, there are a dozen of dances that have come and gone in favor throughout the centuries. Second, that dancing is sometimes seen as a conduit for social advancement, as it is a chance to mingle with the powerful. It has apparently been used as a plot point in countless stories and dramas, to the point where it's considered a well worn cliche. This cliche, though, most certainly contains a kernel of truth. We have been paired up randomly with one another, some of us having the honor of dancing alongside our instructors. I note that Aternus PO2 is partnered with Extras B12.
Hmm. Well,
Are you afraid of something, Aternus PO2? My own dance companion is not anyone I've actually ever talked to, barring the disappointed grunt when our respective names were drawn. I've already forgotten this.
attention, cadets. Every me on your marks.
He presses a couple of keys on his holopad.
And music.
Wow, this dance is not the worst they could have picked. In a bass dance, the leading couple performs the moves first, and the other couples replicate. This leaves me a couple of beats to try to process what I'm seeing and mirroring their movements. Gonna need all the help I can get. Start. A step forward, and a deep bow with an arm extension. I can do that. I nod towards my partner. He grudgingly nods back. Don't be like that, buddy. We're in this together. One step forward and a deep bow, right?
Sure, yeah. Seems right.
Gonna have to save here. This is critical.
Like wrong. And there's down the chute. There's stuff.
It's just a huge chute open at the end of the concourse. Yeah, yep, nope.
Small issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put my right foot in front, put my weight on it, and bend at the waist while looking at my partner's feet. So far, so good. Turners PO2 and Extras B12 have straightened back up and are now taking a side step to the left and back without moving the right foot. Then they step back with their left foot and come back still without moving the right foot. Oh no. Help.
I mean, oh.
You know.
Yeah, all right. They're taking a side step to the left and back.
Left and back. Okay, so left and back and left and back. Left and back. What?
It's my left or their left. But it's my left.
They're also exactly the same, these two options.
Mm-hmm.
No, to
Take
my
top one.
no, to my left. Wait, to my left?
Yeah,
Hang
yeah.
on.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. And this is what we call the extras to power stance and back. I step backwards, use my weight equally among both feet, and come back. I'm slightly off tempo, but I don't think anyone has noticed. The leading couple starts a series of small steps towards one another. After 5, they stop, then side step towards the right, come back, then step backwards, come back again, and take a deep bow with another arm flourish. It's the most complicated step yet. Towards one another, they stop, side step towards the right, come back, then step backwards.
Don't step back, take a bow.
I
I mean, it's right first, then back, or is it back first, then right?
after 5 steps, stop. The side step towards the right, come back, then step backwards. The right
Yeah,
first.
right.
This one.
Yeah.
Take 5 cautious steps forward, focusing on my feet. A step to the right. My foot slides a bit on the polished floor, but I recover gracefully with my own kind of arm flourish. I step back just a little too fast, correcting my course, in a lunge that brings me too close to my dance partner. Take a deep bow and lose balance halfway through, headbutting him on his own bow and sending us both sprawling to the floor. Oh no, disaster!
No.
He's absolutely furious.
You moron! Can't you watch where you step?
The two lines of dancers stop. Every me is staring at us. This is bad.
What kind of supper batch do you come from if you can't follow along?
Look. Music stops too. This is very bad. Just B12 pushes his way through to us.
What happened here, cadets? Explain yourselves.
Classmate wastes no time in throwing me under the bus. I start yammering something about having slipped on the slick floor and notice Eternus PO2 has joined the circle of onlookers. Oh no, he looks very grumpy. I decide the best course of action is to be quiet now. Extras B12 summarizes the situation to the headmaster.
It seems first level initiate Megares Horatio 69F21 fell onto the other cadet.
Eternus PO2 turns to us.
Is the bass dance too difficult for you initiates?
My classmate breathes in to protest, but a gesture from the headmaster stops him in his tracks.
Not one word.
He raises his voice to address the crowd.
The ceremony rehearsal is cancelled. You can all thank Initiate Horatio 69F21 for this initiative.
Oh no, we have fucked. Wait, did we pick the wrong one?
No, we didn't. You can go back to your quarters now.
Oh man, we are gonna be so hated.
There's no debts. It's all off.
All thanks to Horatio 69. An audible gasp and murmurs. Eternus PO2 turns back to me.
Initiate, come with us.
He moves to leave, extras B12 in tow. Oh. Sir,
Stay silent. Okay.
have to follow. 2 steps behind the pair. I have a bad feeling about this. Make our way through the quiet hallways. Neither of them is speaking. Reach an area I've never set foot in. Station quiet as always. But in here, under these circumstances, has a certain oppressive feeling. Turn a corner, Eternus PO2 throws me a sidelong glance that sends shivers down my spine. Headmaster steps in through an otherwise unremarkable door. Exodus B12 stops, waits for me to enter, and the door closes silently behind him. It's the headmaster's office.
Oh.
Despite my precarious situation, I can't help but stare at the opulence of the room. This is everything I've seen in my series, and more. The view is breathtaking. Eternus PO2 is looking out the window, his back to us. After a few moments, he turns around and breaks the silence.
Initiate Horatio 69F21. It is bad when a little decanted clone catches my attention. Do you know why?
No, sir.
The defining trait every me here have in common, and that we value about all else, is ambition. We want to get places, gain power. Sometimes, well, most times, we seize it from the cold, dead hands of the brother who held it before us. We want to be seen in a prime light, and to operate in the shadows whenever we need to do more unsightly actions. The worst that can happen is for somebody else to catch us in a situation of weakness. Unfortunately for me, my ability to produce an awe-inspiring batch of cadets that can pass muster is currently in jeopardy. Your antics today have left me in a precarious position. One of my cadets not meeting our standards would delay our esteemed Emperor's plans, a delay I would be responsible for. It might be easier for me to just get rid of you and pretend you were never here in the first place.
Oh.
We are, however, as you no doubt will have noticed, rather severely short-staffed aboard the station. I was loath to reveal the extent of the situation to the idiots overseeing the cloning facilities in the system, for reasons you can imagine. Therefore, until we have discreetly replenished our complement of station personnel, I'd rather not have to get rid of anyone. whether they happen to displease me or not. I have two options when it comes to what will happen to you. The first one is easiest: assign you a special mission and send you to investigate the disappearance of our patrol. With some luck, you might never come back, and if you do, we will have learned valuable information. In any case, you're out of the way. The second option exists only because we have invested time and resources in you, and there's a tiny chance you might turn out alright, given the proper training. A second chance, if you will, to prove you can perform like any of your brothers. At the same time, I would hate to extend this offer to you if you were not ready to step up. Do you understand? In your defense, I must say your decisions in Hollow Training Room allowed your cadet crew to fulfill the parameters of the mission, even if these decisions went against the current doctrine. Initiative is generally frowned upon, but in your case it might prove a saving grace. Extras B12 here is particularly keen on keeping you for some reason. The choice ultimately is yours. Are you ready to put in the effort, or is all this proving too much for you?
I'm amazed I managed to not say anything, snarky or otherwise, during this entire monologue. Oh no. Well, do we go to our deaths in deep space, or do we try to redeem ourselves?
Man, I feel like that special mission is a death sentence.
I'm pretty sure that special mission is a death sentence.
That's his recommendation. That doesn't seem.
No.
He's asking us a question here.
You know, I guess we'll try our best.
Yeah, we'll do our best to.
Just that fucking, roguishly dashing Dario F-19, man. He
didn't get sent on the special missions, or clearly he didn't want to. He could have been there if he had to. Maybe it's like the Holovid and he's making out with this guy in the.
I will do my best to be worthy, sir. I'll train even harder.
This is what I was hoping to hear, and who knows, you might even succeed. Turger's FO7 will show you your new quarters now.
Duty is truth. You just got the achievement.
While we are here, I would also like to congratulate you on your promotion.
Promotion?
Junior Probational Assistant Petty Officer Migros Horatio 69F21. It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? It falls off the tongue.
It really does, yeah. The door behind us hisses open and Turgus F07 comes in. Grand Headmaster?
Take our esteemed Horatio 69F21 to his new quarters in the officer's wing. How did this happen? It was a test?
Yeah.
Put him on the accelerated version of the accelerated program. You heard me.
Oh my god. Very well, sir. If you'll follow me. God. An officer, huh? Heard about your prowess in the battle bridge. Good for you, Horatio 69F21.
Oh, yeah, we should correct him.
It is actually Junior Probational Assistant Petty Officer Megros Horatio 69F21 now. Remember it. Well, take it easy, Junior Probational Assistant Petty Officer Megros Horatio 69F21. You haven't arrived just yet. We are silent the rest of the way. Pass through the concourse, then dive into the hallway similar to the one we just left. It seems I'm going to live in a nice part of the state.
I mean, it's what we deserve, right?
It is what we deserve.
I feel like we're going to have a horrible realization that we live in a prison or something, but let's see where this takes us.
We live in Horatio, right? So.
As soon as we get any sort of power, we turn into a pity asshole.
we had dreams of rebellion down in the kitchen, and look at us now. Just throw one promotion at us and we abandon everything.
We're a police officer.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, Turkish Shadows, it is the Kobayashi Maru scenario from Star Trek. They referenced it. He speaks up in a studied monotone. Section A9, hallway 14, door 23. This is your new home. Pushes the door open and gestures at the inside. After you. I step into my room. Turns out, my room is a suite and looks amazing. I wonder if it gets like color-coded and stuff depending on where you go. Now we are like on a military track, right?
Oh, that could be, yeah.
And probably if we went to the picnic, we'll be on the like science track. I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
that could be.
Bed is bigger. There seems to be an actual bathroom, a sitting area, some nice shelves and a desk. It looks like a place somebody might live. Actually, it looks like the place somebody lives in already. Uh-oh. It is now painfully obvious that this space was occupied by someone. Probably not long ago. Uh-oh. Bed is undone for once. Uniform on the shower mat.
We have a shower.
There is a book on the nightstand, its spine cracked from it being opened upside down. And of course, there are photos. Closer look. They show several Horatios in various social settings, sitting around by a fountain on the concourse, having drinks in the mess, or squished closer together to fit into the frame of the picture. They look happy. Then there's a picture of Horatio in full battle dress, standing at attention with a weapon. The markings on his cadet on his chest place him somewhere in the middle ranks, the junior officer. Was he the brother who lived here? Was he a friend? A boyfriend? Difficult to say what the relationship between all of these people were when all of them looked the same. Whose place is this? This is yours now. Who lived here before me? Does it matter?
We should just stare at him. We're assertive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. These quarters of Acting Deputy Probational Officer Magnus Amplitus F20. What happened to him? Sir, he was part of the cadet crew that was on board the training exploration fleet, the one that disappeared recently. We know of no survivors. I point at the photos. He glances at them, then looks back at me. What about the rest of them? To the best of my knowledge, they were all part of the crew, so, all gone, yeah. An idea what he was like? He looks at his holopad for a second, flickering screens rapidly. Going by the record, he was very gifted and succeeded in all his endeavors, and was a rising trajectory until, well, this happens. Why do you care? Not like you're gonna meet him or any of them. Gestures at nothing in particular. Anyway, this is all yours now. Feel free to do whatever you like with the personal effects of your predecessor. Your first classes start tomorrow morning. Be sure you enjoy them. Good night, Junior Probational Assistant Petty Officer. He leaves the room and shuts the door behind him. I am left standing alone in the room. Someone who looked like me. I look at the personal photos scattered here and there. What should I do with it?
I mean, you know what I say? They're just mine now. This was our life.
Yes, yeah. Keep them. Yeah.
Well, this is me.
All right.
It is me with my friends. You know.
Sure. Guess I'll keep them around for a bit. It's better standing on the wall anyway. Sit back on my bed and look at the ceiling. It's been an eventful day. I close my eyes just for a second, try to process what happened today. My mouth is dry when I wake up. I step into the bathroom and consider my options briefly before stepping into the shower. The water is at first oddly lukewarm before finally heating up. How is something oddly lukewarm?
Yeah, I don't know. That I was just mulling over that too. What does that mean?
Strangely lukewarm.
It's like just body temperature.
You're like, what? That's weird.
Yeah, that is pretty warm.
I guess. Let it run over my smooth forehead and over my body for a long time. I step out and take a look at the holoscreen in what I guess would be a parlor. I can make out my reflection beyond the haptic overlay. The face of perfection.
Obviously.
Yeah.
No.
I look so much like him, it's almost painful. I wink at myself before pressing a button, bringing up today's schedule. Breakfast, mess hall, advanced classes, guns, small arms locker 4, startup imperialism.
Hey, we got startup imperialism.
Hey! Is that all? Tap the screen a couple of times trying to refresh the display? That seems odd. I head out to the mess hall. I'll figure out on the way. I get in line, grab my tray. Oh, I know who I'll ask. He's right here, working the lunch counter as usual. Hey Darren F19, can I ask you a question? Pours a healthy serving of slop in a bowl and passes it to the brother before me before answering.
I heard congratulations were in order. After your little stunt yesterday.
Looks me in the eye.
Sure. What's on your mind?
So this morning after breakfast, It looks like I've got 2 classes, but they seem to be scheduled at the same time. He considers this for a minute. The Horatios in line start muttering as he pays them no heed.
You know, unless someone's actually tampering with the system, it's not supposed to book you for classes.
Well, you know, we are on the accelerated program, so...
Yeah. I don't suppose you'd have done anything to piss anyone off.
Pretty
A
much
lot of things,
yeah,
really.
actually, everyone, pretty much.
Darian here is my best friend. We met like once.
This makes me frown. Have I made enemies here? The grumbling from the brothers in line get louder. We'll wait. Yeah,
yeah, escalates. Let's just take as much time as possible.
Yeah. Do you have anyone in mind? I'm actually a probational petty officer right now.
Yeah.
You know, I can.
All of you will stand in line for as long as I desire.
Exactly.
Well, there's this guy who's dancing you ruined.
Yeah.
There's all these guys you outshone during your lame military exercise. And then there's the people who might object to your sudden rising star. Really, the question is there anyone who leans forward, wouldn't want to hurt you?
Oh no.
For the classes, looks like you'll have to make a choice which one you want to go to.
Yeah.
Would you like something to spice this up?
Due to my death glare and grab my bowl and go. Wait in silence, considering my options. Guns sounds like something Extras B12 would teach. Start of Imperialism, something like Eternus PO2 thing. That's what.
So, I like Startup Imperialism.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
But the Sergeant is in guns, and I feel like we're on that track.
Yeah, you're on Sergeant
track. But what do you, I mean, you could also go for Eternus, like reach up above, you know? It seems like...
social climbing here, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the Sergeant has been more supportive of us, but Eternus can't really show, you know, full support. You know what I mean? He's more sly than that. Eternus senpai.
He noticed us right away.
He did, and he promoted us as well.
Oh,
you
and
know?
we do look a lot like Prime, so...
We do, yes. So,
you know,
maybe... Then again, we were really good at the military exercise. That's not entirely sure. Table this important choice.
Let's do the start of imperialism. You know what? Let's go with the gut here. Let's not conform to them. We're an emperor.
All right.
Yeah, a junior emperor.
My decision made, I get up and exit the room, leaving my bowl on the table. This is the same auditorium we usually have classes in. I usually sit at the back, but this time it's going to be different. I sit in the front.
Yeah.
This elicits some grumbling from the brother who usually sits there. Who cares about him? That's right, I'm a junior petty officer.
Yeah. Who is he?
Yeah. I'm here to get the lowdown on how to make the magic happen. Eternus PO2 is a good few minutes late for class, which I find pretty bothersome considering that he's the one teaching it. Still, nobody moves. Barely make a noise waiting for him. Each side of me, classmates look over the shoulder to check if he hasn't appeared yet. In case he'd be watching us from under the arcades. When he finally appears, an unfortunate soul somewhere behind me lets out a gasp, quickly suppressing my snickers from classmates around him. At least this time, I'm not the target.
Welcome to Startup Imperialism. The lesson started 12 minutes ago. Since then, what have we learned?
I think to myself that if you're in charge, you can afford to be late, but no better than to say it out loud. No one says anything. Again, it seems no one is willing to stand out.
What about you, Horatio, 69F21? Have you learned anything yet?
That's what I get for sitting up front. I mean,
the bottom one seems not great.
Yeah, exactly. I like this one. He will enjoy this, I'm sure. If you're in charge, you can afford to be late. Well, I said it. I shrink ever so slightly into my seat while looking at him, but Eternus PO2 just gives me one of his sideways smiles.
That is one way to put it. Indeed, if you're in charge, you can afford to be late. For the purpose of this exercise, all of you represented the Empire, and I represented him. Note how, in the absence of instructions to the contrary, nobody here did anything, said anything, or took any otherwise untoward initiative. Respect for the leader and force of habit have ensured that things muddled along until I showed myself. The takeaway from this lesson is that in a perfect society, the habit of coercion, the fear of repression, can be as strong an incentive as coercion and repression themselves. In many ways, you can expect that the population itself will uphold your rules. Good one. Core ratio 69 F20.
Oh yeah, we did it. He smiles at me. I feel funny. He turned to senpai.
Special.
I'm special.
I stand out.
I'm not sure why I blush, but I guess the combination of praise and the look he gives me contributed to it.
Now, let us address the title of this class. Startup Imperialism. Poetic, isn't it?
Yes.
The Horatio Empire, crown jewel of the galaxy, is what you could call a startup that made it. An enterprising entrepreneur, defying the odds, luck and pluck on his side, setting off into the unknown for an idea he believed in. He saw the old conventional ways of building an empire, and he decided he would improve them. He would disrupt. Back in the day, they did not exactly require processes to make sure everything went according to plan. Once the empire got going, onboarding was made trivial, since of course new brothers received the memories he gave them. This process, however, did not occur in reverse, as there was no way ethically or technically to upload non-prime memories to his consciousness.
Of course.
For a while, things muddled along just fine, as everyone did as he would. But then the situation became more complex, and the need for a stricter hierarchy emerged. He had the genius idea to make the Empire a meritocracy, where true contributions and value are rewarded, and where achievements are the only thing that matters. Thanks to this watershed moment for the Empire, constellations are now divided into systems. Below this level, planets and space stations each have their own hierarchy, ensuring a smooth transmission of orders down the chain of command. As the Grand Headmaster of this academy, I am the local authority. You are obviously somewhere below. How far depends on you. Any questions?
Looks at us intently. I can feel his gaze brush against me before he resumes.
Moving on. Let us talk about trickle-down glorynomics.
Yes, let's. I can feel my classmates shift around me uneasily. What's going on?
Can anyone here tell the class what trickle-down glorynomics are? It's a concept you should all be familiar with. Well, the name is new.
He paces leisurely on the stage, making a show of waiting for an answer. After a moment, he stops and points at someone behind me.
Yes.
The unseen classmate speaks up. Is it something to do with femocracy?
Yes, indeed. Good job, you. The underlying philosophy has not changed at all, but the way the concept was framed created a few problems. Most notably, famocracy has an undercurrent of fame means power, which send the wrong message. Instead of recognizing the true meaning of the most prominent amongst us has to be the one leading us, it made it sound like one could attain that position of power through fame.
Hmm.
That is, of course, completely antithetic to the underlying tenets of his empire, for reasons we will now see.
He removes the portable holopad and starts typing. The lesson ends a solid hour later. I am utterly exhausted. I did my best to participate.
Yeah.
I looked at Attorney's PO2 in the eye and tried to participate as often as I could when I knew the answer or had a sure enough guess. I may have been slightly off the mark a couple of times, but he somehow managed to reconnect it to the question and made my way. My classmates file out of the auditorium. I am about to join them in line when I feel a presence next to me.
Good lesson today, wouldn't you say so, Horatio 69F21?
The most excellent lesson, sir. I'm such suck-ups now.
Throw back at him.
I particularly enjoyed a bit of repartee at the start. Wow. He gives me a knowing nod and flashes another of his devilish smiles. To say that his teeth are perfect is an understatement. Oh, he's so dreamy. Oh, he came closer.
As did I. These lessons can be very dull affairs if I'm talking to a silent class. Anyway, I look forward to more lessons with you, Horatio 69.
He didn't use F21.
Oh my.
I have incredibly...
Age is just a number now.
Yeah.
I am pleased you decided to step up, as you're quickly becoming one of my favorite students.
Oh my.
I might have said before, but we might do something with you yet.
Mm-hmm.
Raise eyebrow.
Mm-hmm. I turn a nice shade of pink, but say nothing. Looking around my new quarters as I step through the door. Doesn't feel like home yet, but I guess things change fast around here. I feel drained from my day.
And I just, eventually, right, we're going to rise up next to this guy. He's going to introduce us to Prime. We're going to throw him under the bus. So hard and take his job. He's going to be so proud.
Yeah, exactly. A tear will fall down his face. It's like, this is exactly what I dreamed. While smiling at me, it's oddly comforting. I fiddle with the holoscreen for a moment, check tomorrow's schedule. Looks like the big item of the day is another dance class, and simply called Dance, in a rather understated fashion. The last time I attempted dancing, it went moderately well, but hey, that's a problem for another day, as in tomorrow. I lay down on the bed and close my eyes. This time, my sleep is peaceful. See, Manikai?
Moving up in the world.
When you fit in, when you do your best to not rise a ruckus, just fit into the power structure, your sleep is peaceful. That's what we learn here. Don't fight, just go along. The dance
and rebellion is fine as long as you don't get caught.
I mean, obviously, yeah.
And as long as you succeed, you can do whatever you want.
Exactly. It's the drow approach to meritocracy. This is a smaller area of the concourse off to the side and away from the foot traffic. The setting fits the occasion as there are far fewer of my classmates here. It's about a dozen clones all told, including my classmate Headmaster Turner's PO2 and strangely Master Sergeant Exos B12. I mean, they're definitely hooking
this is a new dance that has taken the court by storm. Our beloved, benevolent brother loves it. Being new, it is pretty different from what you're accustomed to. There are no expectations of success for any of you going in.
We will do our best here.
However, it will be the dance we perform when he comes to review the cadets, so make sure to not embarrass me, lest you suffer the consequences. The dance is called the Volta. It's a dance for couples.
You're appreciative.
Ooh. In this dance, the partners salute each other in a saunter, a deliberately slow skipping, parading for the benefit of the audience and showing their fitness. Then they get closer to one another and pivot around a central point. The leader is facing the follower and puts his hands on each of the follower's hips. The follower is facing the leader right and places his closest hand on the leader's shoulder. Both turn to the same spot by walking forward. Every 3 steps, the leader shifts the follower into the air, display his strength, and show his partner to the audience.
Wow. He pauses.
It is of utmost importance that you lift me as high as you can, of course.
Yes.
The follower must follow the leader and spring just before he lifts to ensure maximum effect. Repeat this simple sequence until the music stops. Salute. Simple as can be.
This time, with actual instructions, it does seem pretty simple. I mean,
Just don't make us do it.
oh god. I mean, I hope I won't make a fool of myself again, but it sounds fairly straightforward. You prance about and then grab your partner and lift them into the air a bunch. Aturnus PO2 turns to me.
Horatio 69F21. Are you feeling confident enough to lead a couple?
Gosh. Yes, sir.
Impressive. You may pick your partner.
Oh wow, just like that. Let's see.
The lieutenant smiles like,
Oh god. I mean, we are going for the headmaster, right?
Yeah. It seems like it, yeah.
Yeah. Did attend his class. We've been a little bit militaristic and like tried different things. I do like the sergeant. He's very enthusiastic. But for pure power, you know.
Yeah. Go with the Rahal choice.
Yes, exactly. What gives me the most power? Power can be intoxicating. All right, let's dance with the headmaster.
Yeah.
Choose you, sir. Merely nods. One after the other, the rest of the dancers select a partner. Actress B12 pairs off with one of my classmates, who seems overjoyed. Form 2 concentric circles with the leaders on the other side. Ernest PO2 reaches down to the hollow pad on his belt, presses the button, and the music starts. I'm just a tad nervous. We salute and start circling each other, making sure to show off our clothes to the absent audience. I realize that next to Eternus PO2, my uniform is a little underwhelming. Are there dress uniforms for probationary officers? I've got to look into that. He is, of course, resplendent and immaculate. We step closer, and I put my hands on his hips. I feel his hand alight on my shoulder, which he does without looking. He is staring straight ahead at the imaginary court. Puzzles me just long enough to miss the first beat. His eyes flick at me, and I hurt catch up. 2, 3, and lift! I tighten my grip on Eternius PO2's hips and rise him up. He feels light as a feather in my hand. The lift lasts only for a second, and then I put him down. He touches down with consummate elegance and grace. Graces me with a sultry look. He squeezes my shoulder. My heart flutters, and I breathe in deeply to stop myself from turning red. It almost works. 2, 3, and lift. Ernest PO2 feels so light in my hands that it's like I'm raising the idea of him as opposed to his actual body. Oh, that's so romantic, Malakaya. I push him in the air just a little bit longer, then put him down.
You are a natural. Horatio 69F21. I wonder if there's anything you cannot do.
Oh my! Oh! I mean, yeah. I rummaged through my brain to find something good.
I could.
I mean, the middle one here.
Yeah.
Seems pretty good, I think. You'd be surprised, sir.
Oh, but I love surprises.
I did not expect him to whisper this into my ear, and both the words and the feeling of his breath makes my ear tingle. He gives me another of his looks, and for a moment I am lost in the drowning pools of his eyes.
Catch up.
Oops, 2, 3, lift. I hold him up for as long as I can, and put him down slightly late on the beat, step away from each other, and salute.
I'm looking forward to more of these surprises.
My head is spinning slightly, and I am red on the cheek, which is unseemly for one of us. This, however, was immensely fun and fairly enlightening. We all salute one another, and Attorney's PO2 leads a round of polite clapping. Every me seems very pleased with themselves. After all these emotions, I decide to head home to relax. Ooh, oh, what a day, Marika.
Oof. A cold shower.
Yeah, very cold. Jesus Christ. I step out of my clothes and into the shower. Turn the water on. Soon, the cabin is covered in steam. I stand a long time under the water. I've been hearing about today's class for days. It's simply called cooking. But from what I've gathered, the title is deceptive. Object of the class is not to cook for oneself. We're actually supposed to be learning how to prepare an entire banquet in honor of Horatio Prime. The deadline is coming up and every me is a little feverish. Several advanced classes are devoted to the occasion, but thankfully I'm not stuck with valeting or another of these lesser tasks. Still, the exceptions are huge for this job. The food has to be made exactly to his liking, arrive at the right temperature in a deft dance of dishes orchestrated by the valets, and then whisked away before he gets bored with them. It's all about managing expectations and delivering. Speaking of delivering, zip, I better hurry if I want to be there on time. I am surprised to find Turgus F07 leading the kitchen when I get there. He doesn't seem happy. Darian F19 and a few of my classmates are running around, holding plates of sliced vegetables and pieces of meat. Tension is palpable. Horatio 69F21, it's nice for you to finally join us. Care to explain where you were 12 minutes ago, when we started prepping?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Oh, such incredible
That's
dictation.
definitely
The answer.
Yeah.
You will address me as Junior Probational Assistant Petty Officer Megros Horatio 69F21, sir. There, you will check that attitude at the door, or I swear to him, your smooth ass will be the main course. This is my kitchen, do as you're told, or else. Those were scientists, why are you cooking?
Well, he's not happy about it.
No, he's not. I don't need a picture, I grab a knife and start peeling super spuds. Darren F19 puts a hand on my shoulder and whispers.
Better not get in the way when he's like this.
I was warning a minute ago.
I'm just saying. Turkis F07 has been around a long time, if you know what I mean. He's in charge of many things.
No, I think I know what you mean.
Sometimes you better just play along, keep a low profile.
Is it the hierarchical structure always this messy?
If you never know who your boss is, or who you should be taking orders from, it really helps the people at the top, and it keeps you on your toes.
That's
brilliant. Oh, you're really into this, aren't you? Well, I hope you enjoy today's hierarchical musical chairs.
We have definitely closed the door on our rebel friend here.
Yeah, well, I mean,
he
should have followed him, I guess.
You know, he's not going anywhere.
He was cool, but now, I mean, we're a probational junior petty officer.
Exactly.
And we wear that on a badge.
Yeah, exactly.
On a sign on the door. It has the whole thing.
We danced and flirted with the headmaster, you know?
Yeah.
I stopped paying attention to what I'm doing for a second and nearly cut my thumb clean off with the knife. This may not be the best knife for the job. I put the knife down and grab a ladle instead. That looks like my kind of tool. Walk up to Turgus F07, show my ladle and raise a questioning eyebrow. Oh, trying to stir things up again? I get it, but I'm not even going to gratify him with a smile. Indicates a pan where a thick orange creamy goop is simmering. Make sure that the sauce doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. Watch it like your future depends on it. It does. I hurry up and plunge my ladle in.
I mean, what a weird question.
Yeah. A really weird question.
I feel like... I mean, yeah, let's try it. Maybe it needs salt, right?
Red grass. It's like someone put a used towel through a strainer and sprinkled oatmeal on top of the resulting juice.
Sweet taste of sophistication. I'm a total sycophant. Or we have to say it's bad because it is.
I think it is revolting.
All right.
Yeah. We are junior probational petty officer.
We can talk up to authority.
That's right. Our opinion matters.
Yeah. We used the boarding pods, damn it.
First course of the dish has been laid out in an artful manner and set on silver platters. A group of my classmates, presumably from the Valiant class or maybe reception protocol, arrived to whisk them away to the concourse, where the banquet will be taking place. They're staging a dress rehearsal with Attorney's PO2, playing the role of the Emperor. Everybody from my batch will be taking part. If the Emperor is pleased with us, he will look favorably on our cadets crew joining the Interspecies Academy. We've still been told next to nothing about the Academy, so I'm guessing that part comes after the official banquet. As I'm often heard around here, better not mess this up. I'm feeling a bit sweaty after spending the better part of the day in the kitchen. Fergus F07 said that on the day of the real banquet, we will have a solid 20 minutes to dash back to our quarters and take a shower. Then he added that if I'd been on time, a shower might have been possible. Outrageous! Or is it no big deal?
I don't feel strongly.
Alright, no big deal. It's a rehearsal after all. Soon enough, we'll all go home and bathe. We're all arrayed in front of the long tables on the concourse, with the food we've been prepared tantalizingly close. We cannot touch it yet, as all the dishes have to be proposed to Horatio first, so that he may decide whether they're worthy for him or not. The smell makes my mouth water. I'm standing close to the front of the line, Fergus F07 to my left and Darian F19 to his left. Extras B12 is approaching with Attorney's PO2, presumably telling the Emperor's stand-in how competent and worthy we are. I am the best of the best.
Yeah.
I have shown on several occasions that I think faster and act smarter than any of my classmates. There is only one person better than me in this whole empire, and I cannot wait to meet him.
This is what all of them think.
Yes, I know. Eternus PO2 stops in front of the assembly and gives us one of his enigmatic smiles. I'm not sure if the smile is an imperial affectation or just that he's having fun. At a signal from Extras B12, we all bow deeply to our Emperor, clears his throat lightly.
My dear subjects and brothers, it is a great honor to be with you on this auspicious day.
I settle in for a long speech and start daydreaming about...
Maybe. Goes without saying.
Yeah. Sound of a body hitting the marble floor pulls me out of my reverie. A cadet far to my left has collapsed and is quickly surrounded by others. I join the crowd. The cadet is all unmoving, all purple, his features deformed by ghastly grimace.
Food was poisoned!
Oh, someone tried. Extras B12 pushes his way through the group.
What happened here?
Oh, I don't know, sir. He just fell to the floor all of a sudden. I saw him grab something from the table. Exos B12 slides a finger between the body's lips and pulls it out. It is covered in thick orange. My heart sinks. That's the sauce I was stirring earlier.
Poison.
Man, this is way more intrigue than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, we should never have tasted that sauce.
But then we know we didn't do it because we tasted it. It wasn't poisonous when we did it.
But it was, because now we collapsed too.
Do you think so?
And we shouldn't have eaten the sauce. We're not allowed to eat before presented.
I can hear several different rumors spun right this instant. But I tasted the sauce too, and I didn't die. It must have been poisoned after I was done with it. See? That was what I mean.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
Unless I put my hand over my chest. My heartbeat is a staccato, but apart from a sudden burst of stress, I don't feel I might die. Ernest PO2 steps closer.
What happened, Master Sergeant? I believe the food was poisoned. Given the circumstances, the only possible culprit is a brother of the Empire, a saboteur in our midst.
Crowd around us exploding gasps and cries of alarm. Rumor-mongering doubles in urgency. Extras B12 points at the dead body.
If one had respected the protocol, the first person who tried the food would be you, Round Headmaster.
Eternus PO2 pales slightly.
Every me to your personal quarters. You will be contacted when we have assessed the situation. Master Sergeant, come with me to my office.
He looks around.
Where is Horatio 69F21?
Yeah.
Step out, obviously.
Time to take responsibility for whatever happened. I'll get a better chance of explaining things from my perspective if I'm cooperating. I'm here, sir.
Come with us.
What does he know? What does he know?
Man, we're gonna throw that rebel under the bus so hard.
Oh, so hard.
Right? Like,
yeah,
immediately.
immediately. No question.
Oof.
The trip to Eternus PO2's quarters is even quieter than the first time we went here. Say nothing. Eternus PO2 and Exos B12 are whispering to one another while walking, but I can't catch what they're saying. Once again, we step through an unmarked door into Eternus PO2's quarters. I don't know whether I'm going to get shooed out again, or if maybe they think I've done it. If that's the case, then bad stuff is about to happen. I noticed that the headmaster and I are alone.
What if it's the scientist, though? Because
Yeah.
he was mad, and then he was like, you know what? You go store that pot.
Yeah, you handle that. Just
And
put
you're the pot person up there.
Where's Extras B12?
The Master Sergeant stepped out for a moment to oversee other cadets. He'll be back.
Eternus PO2 gestures for me to sit on one of the low couches, and paces back and forth. After a couple of laps around the room, he stops in front of me.
Moistening the sauce. The situation is rather unsavory.
I wince at the pun.
Come on, Horatio 69F21. It was a pretty good one.
Good one, sir.
Am I not even going to get a smile?
I look him in the eye. Shouldn't you be more concerned about what just happened? He looks away for a moment and eventually shrugs and nods. He sits down on the couch.
You should know, though, that this is a relatively common occurrence in the Empire, and I am not entirely unprepared.
How so?
For a start, the probability of actually dying from a direct poisoning is actually minimal. This extraordinary coincidence that a brother just happened to break protocol and taste the food, it happens every single time.
Oh, really?
Because they all think they're amazing. An enterprising brother will think that they absolutely deserve to try it, that no one will notice. That is the sole reason for the protocol that it says the highest authority in the room should taste the food first to even exist. As I mentioned before, the clones are so predictable. There is someone, though, who is an enigma to me.
He slides closer. Oh, yes. We're finally somewhere, just the two of us. This is definitely happening. Started doing his class. I became sure of it when we danced together. Not even a dead clone could get between us. Oh, right. The dead clone. Damn it. What about the saboteur? Attorney's PO2's expression makes him look like he's just stepped on a snail.
Right. Business before pleasure.
He straightens up.
It is easy enough. Horatio 69F21. You've proven to be a loyal subject, and you're smart. You are obviously not quite perfect, although, but I digress. I want you to identify the saboteur, see if he has any accomplices, and deal with the situation.
Oh my goodness.
Put an end to it for good. Be my inside man, if you will.
I think I understand, sir.
What do you say?
Winks at me. My body is ready. The door to the office suddenly opens and Extras B12 barges in.
Grant, Headmaster. It's just us, Extras B12. You can call me Sir. Sir, I've just received word that one of our deep space proximity sensors has been triggered.
Oh my goodness.
It seems that a fleet passed nearby, headed straight for the station.
Oh no.
From the footage, it appears to be a raiding party, most probably Volta's pirates.
Oh no.
Voltas? Have we not brought peace with these dirty imbeciles? I believe they took offense to the recent splicing of their colonists in the Iridian region. Wait, their territory is halfway across the quadrant. How could their fleet venture this far from home? Our spies at the Academy report that they possess the technology to build portals that allow the instantaneous transport of ships from one portal to another. This would explain how they bypassed our defenses and reached deep into the Empire. Are these Volta's pirates the reason of our training fleet went missing last month? It would certainly make sense, sir. I have called the Imperial fleet, but it is half a day away at best. This is why we need to prepare right away. Well, go on. Do it then. We are busy here. I was hoping to enlist the help of the cadets, sir. Oh. Is there a problem? I was about to assign our young protege to a very special insider mission with regards to our saboteur, just before you stormed in. He has shown himself to be very resourceful.
Oh no, we're gonna have to pick again.
That's why I need his help, sir. Our defense systems are pretty bare, given the lack of maintenance in recent times. Someone hasn't been doing anything. Also, I need a shock team if things get ugly. That's not us.
No.
You've seen him during the fleet maneuvers. The cadet has the mind of a great tactician. Given the circumstances, it is crucial that we focus our efforts on protecting the station from this attack. Very well then. What about you, Horatio 69F21? What do you think your talents would be best used?
I have many talents, but I am making decisions quickly. It's not among them. And you know what, Malachi? We will make a save here because I actually need to go.
Yeah. So, truth.
Yeah, truth. And we will find out next time on this stunning adventure. What is happening? Again, this is way more drama than I thought it was going to be.
Blown away. The Volta pirates are coming, and there's the saboteur in our midst.
Yep.
And every time that happens, that someone eats the food. So.
Oh, you know what? I'm enjoying this this little visual novel here. It's good fun.
It's all in the spirit of the season. Maybe
is.
you will slide onto a couch as your clone boss
Yes.
leans over you before eliciting you to do something exceedingly dangerous.
Maybe you can be someone's inside man as well this weekend. We certainly hope so.
And then looking at us.
Yes. But yeah, I unfortunately do have to go because as the matter of fact is, it is my birthday this weekend, and I have stuff.
Congratulations!
Thank you very much. But I have a lot of prep and stuff to do, so I need to be off, unfortunately.
I'm sure people also have preparations for the big day.
Of course.
Coming up, Valentine's, we can show all the love to our loved ones. And, and for those who might feel like they have no one, well, here there is a chance to be, I think, 4 Horatios.
Yeah, exactly. You always have.
That should be a good day's work. Game is free on Steam, available right now. It's been for a year, so go right ahead, and if you can't wait for us to continue, you can get your chance to do it as well.
Yes, indeed. Be your own Horatio 69. And we will see you on the next episode. Take care.